No one. Really, like, you're being paranoid.
There you go.
All right, Heber.
Yep.
Last year, Summer Game Fest, you got to check out Dustborn.
Yeah.
Now, this year,
Yeah.
you get a chance to put some time in.
Yeah.
So you got to play a bit. So
Yes.
what do you think?
This game is shaping up. I like the vibes. I like the look, and I am invested in the characters and the story, which is huge.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff. The combat, I'm not 100% sold on.
Whether the Streets of Rage comparisons are not landing yet.
Yeah, the combat is fine. It's fine. You know? Everything else though is really good. Like super duper good.
Because the scenes that I've seen, like I don't know, like it's not giving me like a very strong attachment so far.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I am invested, and
a lot of bickering in the car and that kind of thing. It's like okay.
Yeah, a little bit. So you've got your ragtag crew. This demo kind of dropped me right into the middle of it, so sorry if I don't have all the details about like the characters and the lore and everything. But you have your ragtag crew, and you are disguised as a band touring in a bus across America, but you're like trying to stop this evil corporation. It's like Justice or whatever. Now the game takes place in an alternate 2030 where like JFK like lived to be old and stuff. Yeah, so like this game is political. There is social commentary. There are there's a lot of relationships, men and women and everything in between can get together, it feels like. You have your romance options like that.
Oh, so you actually like have romance options to pursue.
It felt like that because, I was going up to a character and I had a couple dialogue options, and it was like, you can do like plus or minus to the thing, and it's like, it gives you a little message about it. So the dialogue stuff seems really good, Bloodworth, because you can ignore a lot of that stuff, or you can like check in with your crew, which I really like. So basically the format was, you're on your bus and you can talk to as many of the crew as you want, however you want, before continuing on. Then you get to like a location. So the first location was a big gas station. Mm-hmm. And basically you lose your ride. I won't go into like the heavy story details here, but you lose your ride and you have to get a new ride to get out of this gas station. You're in the middle of the desert. So it's a little puzzly on how to progress. There is this really endearing robot gas attendant, really endearing character, and you're trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. And just the way you kind of like figure that out felt really natural. It felt really fun. All of your crew has different powers and abilities. So there's the one character who's like the brute who can, lift heavy objects. You have another character who's super fast, like the Flash, can get in, get out, like, maybe steal something if they want.
Got it.
So you have little opportunities to be like, go up to a thing and you can like set who you want, For example, it's like, hey, will you come move this? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can, your crew is kind of like, they're kind of like tools in a way.
But you specifically play as one of them that you
control?
You
play as Pax, main character. She's got a bat. I think her power is like empathy or something like that. Little Alex Chen type vibe.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a thing where she could kind of like manipulate what people were, however they were responding, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So then the way her internal monologue is really cool, because this whole game is set up like a comic book as well. So you get these really cool comic book, the
panels,
comic panels, the dialogue. Like when she's thinking something, it'll pop up like it would on a comic book. So that stuff's super cool. But yeah, the visuals and all the control, like everything just felt smooth and crisp. But I like the way this game looks and feels. Combat, not as smooth and crisp, but we'll get there. You have this radio device too, where you can like find these anomalies in the wild, and it's kind of like the Ghostbusters thing where you have to like keep them in the center.
Okay.
These like echo anomaly things. Pick those up. Those are kind of collectibles. Those will unlock different powers. You also have a skill tree. You can upgrade your bat. Find little collectibles in the environment to get more of those. And yeah, so then we were at the gas station. Some enemies showed up, and then we got to do a combat encounter. So it was like pretty mashy. Just hit him with the bat. Annoyingly, the final combo of the bat combo was like slow motion every time, and it was just too much. It was like ba 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 ba. It was just like too much slow mo. Like you don't need to do it every time.
Right.
And it just felt a little splashy, as it were. You can throw the bat. That's actually really fun. There were some enemies on the roof of the gas station. I just like threw the bat at them, kind of like a Mjolnir, Thor style. But it was serviceable. It's not bad combat, but it was fine. In this genre.
Does her power become a thing in combat at all?
So she has like a shout thing where she can like shout and it'll like blast everyone away. That was like the main power she had. And then
what about your companions?
So you can combo with them.
Got
that
it.
was like on a cooldown. You would hit them with a bat, and then I would like combo one in, and the super speed would come in, and she would like go boom boom or whatever, which was really cool. I am invested in these characters. Some of these. There was a little disconnect right when I hopped in, but then, like all good games in this genre do, I immediately just fell into it, and I was so invested. I like the premise of this divided America road trip, totalitarian type agency doing secret shit that no one knows about, and we're just traveling. There was like a big world map, and it was like where you want to go next type thing. I only got to interact with that just for a brief moment, but it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like a journey like that, Last of Us style, like a big, Life is Strange 2, just this big epic journey across a divided America. So then we got to a new location, and we met a new character there, and just, these NPCs have personality. I was pretty surprised and impressed by that. But the main loop is, get to a place. It's like a not too big environment, but you can interact with, items, find collectibles, figure out how to progress whichever problem you have. Like this, we got to a trailer park, and there was like something hidden there that we needed to find because we were looking for someone, and we're like, yeah, we know they're here, but like, where would they be? Where did they go? So you had to find this place, and it eventually kind of turned into a dungeon, Bloodworth.
Oh,
it was
cool.
like this full-on like underground complex you're going through. I thought it was going to be brief. It was pretty involved down there. Big time lore building, walking and talking with your companion.
Even something like that, like kind of like changed, like kind of like how my head is, because like
it's definitely
like,
a mashup
when they
of a
talk
genre.
about Life is Strange plus Streets of Rage,
Yeah.
and like the Streets of Rage thing I'm not seeing the connection at all.
No.
But then when I think about like a Life is Strange, like you have places that you sort of walk around, but it's generally like kind of a small zone,
Yes.
and you like get really invested in the details. Whereas this, it sounds like you have a little bit more, like it's not huge, but you have a little bit more freedom to wander and explore a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. A little puzzly, not too bad. I was never really like stumped. Your crew kind of like gets separated, and again, it's endearing, dude. It's dealing with like some real world shit. Like one of the companions has like just a ton of phobias, phobia of the, fear of the dark, fear of heights, like all this stuff. And of course, that character has to deal with some of that stuff while you're there. You're trying to calm her down, and she starts to freak out a little bit, and it's like, oh no, everything's like, I got you. So yeah, just getting invested in these characters, I think, is the sell of this game. And I'm really intrigued by the world and the way it looks, Bloodworth. Again, like just the comic book style and the visuals pop, dude. Everything looks good. Like the near future setting has like just a little dash of like Fallout in there, kind of, you have these robot characters, and so I'm really invested in the world. I just got to see how all those choices
Yeah.
kind of culminate. I wish combat was like a little harder hitting. You know, it just feels a little loosey and mashy. You know, you can like roll around and dodge some counters, but it is, you know, just kind of mash it out with the bat. But again, I think it's a cool mashup, you know, because it does, when you are exploring and puzzle solving for, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes just in deep conversations, it is a nice palate cleanser to, okay, let me just beat up all these thugs really quick. Okay, now we're back into the, you know, cerebral story and bonds and relationships. So I think even though the combat is serviceable, it serves a purpose and a great function to mix up the gameplay and to have those nice little, you know, more adventurous beats.
Nice.
So, yeah, Dustborn, I'm super hyped on this game. Definitely one I will be going through for sure, because even with my brief, you know, 90-minute plus time, I found myself really invested in the world and the characters, which is absolutely the most important thing. And I like the superpower vibes. You know, everyone has their own different power. I recruited someone else who had a different power within my time of playing, so I don't know how big this crew is going to get. But yeah, recruited another person. I thought that was really sweet. And I was just impressed with the writing and the vibes.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could like quickly find the deets on that stuff, but I'm looking at the wrong thing. It doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out for Dustborn. Seriously, if you are a fan of story-driven games whatsoever, if Life is Strange or, you know, any Don't Nods and you know,
As Dusk Falls was great.
As Dusk Falls of the Telltale game. Like, if you like that genre, Dustborn is absolutely one that should be on your radar for sure.
Sweet. Thank you. I'll put the deets in the description. They'll be there. But if you've been enjoying these previews, check us out over at patreon.com/easyallies. We are supported by viewers just like you. And just drop in, you know, $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you can, and it'll help keep things going. Thanks, and we'll talk soon.